I'd like to give Rob Pelinka a lot of credit. You know, trades, you guys have been around here, trades don't happen at the smallest level without stuff getting out. And Rob and I were able to have, you know, really intense conversations over the course of, you know, 3 or 4 weeks that started out as a coffee that, you know, was more, hey, would you ever, I don't know, would I? Let me think of, you know, and then it built upon that. And, you know, we kept it between us. We had to keep it tight. J Kidd didn't know about it. But J Kidd and I are aligned, and we talk about archetypes, and we talk about the culture that we want to create. So I know the type of players that he likes without actually talking to him. Hey, would you like, you know, so I know that. And J Kidd coached them when they won a championship. So I think when you're aligned with your coach like that, I know the type of players that he likes.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man? Bro, I'm out, man. That nigga's tripping.
Well, this is not AI generated at all. It's real. Luka Doncic got traded to the Lakers. Wow. Just wow. This is Sports Guy talking that you guys are watching and listening to. I am Dustin Tran, your host, as I am here today to talk about Luka Doncic getting dumped by the Mavericks for Anthony Davis in a shocking trade. The Mavericks got very little in return for Luka Doncic. Not only that, but Mavericks general manager Nico says that the Mavericks are now built to win right away while being able to be competitive in the future. Before I say anything else though, I want to present you guys with a topic question. So here it is. What grade do you give the Mavericks for the Luka Doncic trade? There is only one grade available for this trade. It is going to be an F-. Are you kidding me, Mavericks? This is the worst trade in NBA history. Forget about this being a horrible trade. This is historically awful. In fact, this trade was so bad that I am questioning whether Nico is working undercover for the Los Angeles Lakers or not, because this was one of the dumbest deals in NBA history. You don't ever trade Luka Doncic under any circumstances. I know some Luka Doncic haters are going to come up to me and say, oh, but the Mavericks didn't want to pay the supermax for Luka Doncic. My response to that would be, why? Luka Doncic has done everything he could for the city of Dallas. He's taken the Mavericks to the NBA Finals. He's turned their franchise around. He's been nothing but a superstar for them. Are you kidding me, Nico Harrison? Did Adam Silver call you up earlier this week and order you to give Luka Doncic to the Los Angeles Lakers for essentially nothing? Because that is the kind of stupidity that it took for the Dallas Mavericks to get this deal done. Even Jason Kidd was beside himself during the interview that Nico Harrison was conducting. I showed you guys the video in the introduction of Nico Harrison explaining why he traded away Luka Doncic. He tried his best to justify it, but Jason Kidd looked at himself in disbelief. He couldn't believe that his own general manager traded away Luka Doncic without consulting him whatsoever. He says that Jason Kidd didn't even find out until it actually happened, which means there is a disconnect between the GM and head coach. If I'm Jason Kidd, I'm quitting on the Dallas Mavericks ASAP. They absolutely betrayed the man, and now the Dallas Mavericks are probably going to blame Jason Kidd if the Dallas Mavericks fail to win a championship with Anthony Davis as the centerpiece of that trade package. You look at what the Dallas Mavericks got in return for Luka Doncic, it was very little. They just got back Anthony Davis, Max Christie, and a 2029 Lakers first round pick. That is an F- worthy deal. There really is no other justification for it. Max Christie is a nice player, but he's not a young player worth getting. Why didn't the Dallas Mavericks ask for Austin Reaves? Why didn't they ask for Rui Hachimura? Why didn't they ask for more players? Why didn't they ask for more draft picks? This deal makes zero sense for the Dallas Mavericks to do. I understand that Anthony Davis is an all-world defender. I understand that Anthony Davis is one of the best defenders in the NBA. However, Anthony Davis is 6 years older than Luka Doncic, and he also has injury concerns, which is the main reason why you traded away Luka Doncic in the first place. If conditioning was such a huge problem for Luka Doncic, then Zion Williamson for the Pelicans should have been out of the league a long time ago, because Zion Williamson's conditioning is absolutely horrible. It's 1,000 times worse than Luka Doncic, but obviously the Dallas Mavericks are just trying to look for any reason to accept the Luka Doncic trade. They did that because they simply did not want to pay the supermax. Those guys are clearly trying to be cheap. They're not willing to pay up the bill to win a championship at the NBA level. It's shameful. If I'm a Dallas Mavericks fan, I'm quitting on that fan base right now and switching allegiances with other franchises, because clearly the Dallas Mavericks do not care for their own fan base. I also want to show you guys this clip of Brian Windhorst reacting to a Luka Doncic trade. He was in absolute disbelief Disbelief. I felt the same way too. Roll the film.
I know that there's a temptation to focus on the Lakers here because they potentially just acquired the next great Laker, and it's an amazing story when you look at the history of their franchise. But the story of the moment and what my phone is filling up with is the reaction to the Dallas Mavericks making this move. I had an all-star, current NBA all-star text me and say, do you know how much the Mavericks must hate Luka? I mean, this is what they're talking about in the league. I've had, veteran coaches text me and say they can't believe they saw this. They just have never seen anything like this. And Luka is 25 years old, okay? He is under contract for several more years, and this summer he is already eligible for a Supermax. I find it completely unbelievable that he would not sign that contract. This was not done because the Mavericks didn't think Luka wanted to be there. Even if he didn't sign that contract, you would have a whole year to figure it out. This was done because the Mavericks didn't think that going forward with Luka was best for their franchise. Thank you!
Tell me about it, Brian Windhorst. You spoke absolute facts to the Dallas Mavericks when talking about the Luka Doncic trade. I don't understand what this deal even accomplishes for the Dallas Mavericks. You make the fans more angry, you make star players not want to play in Dallas anymore, and you obviously make your basketball team worse. I understand Luka Doncic has injury concerns. I understand that Luka Doncic is not a great defender whatsoever, but have you not seen the talent level Luka Doncic brings on the offensive level? I don't really care if Luka Doncic doesn't play defense because nobody plays defense in today's NBA. But when you look at what Luka Doncic does on the offensive end of the floor, the guy's an excellent facilitator. He can shoot the basketball at a high level. He makes every teammate around him better. I also want to say that their offense is going to be a lot worse without Luka Doncic because who is going to be facilitating the basketball? Kyrie Irving? He hasn't played in that role in forever. But then you got Spencer Dinwiddie. I don't even think I need to say anything about that because Spencer Dinwiddie is not good at facilitating the basketball. Unfortunately for the Mavericks, he's going to be the best facilitator moving forward. I don't really see the situation getting better for the Mavericks anytime soon. Are they going to make the playoffs this year? Probably, because right now they're the 8th seed in the Western Conference and they do have talent on the roster, but quite frankly, their days of contending for championships are done. They're probably going to only get worse from here on out. If Mark Cuban was still the owner of the Dallas Mavericks, this trade would have never happened, but of course, Mark Cuban had to sell off the majority of his ownership. Obviously, new ownership does not care about wins and losses. If they cared about wins and losses, they wouldn't have traded away Luka Doncic. Clearly, this was an inside job made by Adam Silver in order to try to boost up ratings in the short term. We all know that the NBA is a dying product and that the Los Angeles Lakers are one of the bigger brands in basketball. Luka Doncic is a superstar. Meanwhile, the Lakers are a superstar-driven franchise. Therefore, Adam Silver in his head came to the conclusion that we need a superstar in LA in order to boost up ratings in the short term. He must have contacted Nico Harrison and forced the trade to happen, citing that it would be better for all the owners in terms of profits. There is no way Nico Harrison actually thought this would be a good trade. In fact, a 5-year-old basketball fan could have probably told you that this was a terrible trade. And if I'm a player in the Dallas Mavericks right now, I'm feeling extremely pissed with the way how they handled the Luka Doncic situation. Nico Harrison deserves to get roasted every single day. The only way how the Dallas Mavericks succeed in this trade is if they win a championship. But obviously, that is not going to happen. This organization is going down in dumpster fire flames. It's that simple. So that is why the Mavericks get an F- for the Luka Doncic trade, as it makes zero sense for this organization to ever execute that trade in the first place. Remember, go ahead and subscribe to Sports Guy Talking, like the video, and please comment down below. If you guys do that, I'm going to shout you guys out in my Instagram story every Monday. That will be for the @DustinNashTran Instagram account. Make sure to follow me on Instagram @DustinNashTran, and that's Sports Guy Talking. Also, go follow me on Twitter @DustinNashTran. Again, go ahead and do those things that I just told you guys to go do. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed the content that was just produced. Peace out. I hope you enjoyed that video. Want more Sports Guy Talking, the home of great sports content? Make sure you click that subscribe button to get the latest from Sports Guy Talking. Go ahead and like the video, comment down below, check the description box on the video in order to follow my Instagram and Twitter. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from the YouTube channel, Sports Guy Talking.